1 second, let me set my screen up. So this chapter consists of 72 verses. So first 10 verses, this continues in the first chapter also. We have seen like Arjuna was reluctant to fight, reluctant to do his duty, and he gave 4 reasons why he doesn't want to fight. And Krishna gives the response why he has to fight, why Arjuna has to do his duty, fight, right? So Krishna addresses the concerns of Arjuna, right? So that continues into the second chapter, 10 verses as well. Here Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. Arjuna surrenders to Krishna and says, Krishna, you tell me what is my duty now. I'm totally confused. Then Krishna starts speaking. He chastises Arjuna, and you're unnecessarily worried about their bodies. They're not the bodies, they're spirit souls. And he further continues in detail about Atma, what is Atma and Atma Gnana. So we covered like everything up to 30 verses, and we'll move on to the other section, the section, oh, sorry. Yeah, other section about Karma Yoga. So Krishna starts with, after giving the knowledge of Atma Gnana, Krishna moves on to this Karma Yoga. Because Arjuna, after speaking so much about the body and soul and everything about the soul, it's like soul is eternal, soul doesn't die, what dies is a body. Arjuna, get up and fight. Right? But Arjuna was still not convinced. So Krishna had to speak this Karma Yoga. So Krishna starts with Sakama Karma. So Sakama Karma. Karma means action or work. Sakama means like with an expectation, right? With an expectation of result. Example, I'm going to office, I'm working because I get money. That's it, right? I'm donating my money, some money to a charitable organization because I want my name to be displayed on the board and also in the newspaper. That's it, right? So that is Sakama Karma. Like I have a desire, like a personal desire, right? So that is Sakama Karma. So Krishna talks about it, some Sakama Karma, and trying to persuade Arjuna to do his duty, right? No matter what, Arjuna wants to run away from the battlefield and he's giving reasons he doesn't want to fight. Krishna is going to persuade Arjuna to do his duty. That is, his duty is to fight. And that is a level 1. So level 0 is about Atma Gnana, knowledge about body and soul. He goes a little further, level 1, that is Sakama Karma, doing our prescribed duty. You know, that leads us to heaven. Heaven or hell, depends on how we do our duty. We'll go into that detail in upcoming verses. And again, level 3, he goes into the Nishkama Karma, right? Working without any expectation of a result, not getting attached to the work. That is like in detail about the Karma Yoga. So Krishna says, when you work as a Karma Yogi, Arjuna, eventually, not overnight, slowly, your consciousness is getting purified. Your actions are sin-free. You'll eventually come to the state of a liberated soul. Then Arjuna wanted to know, how can I become that liberated soul? So he further asked that question, and Krishna talks about the how a liberated soul is. That is the Sthita Prajna. Okay, so we'll look at that in upcoming verses. So we'll get into the verses for today. So this section 31 to 37, Krishna talks about Sakama Karma. Performing prescribed duty gives enjoyment. Okay, so this is one of the concern of Arjuna. Arjuna's second concern. First concern was he was very much compassionate, thinking the body is to be soul and he doesn't want to fight. And Krishna addressed that concern by speaking Atma Gnana. Now Krishna is going to address the second concern of Arjuna. That is Arjuna seeing no desire in enjoyment and not seeing any benefit doing his duty. Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you have to do your duty. There is no go for you. There is no escape for you. You have to do your duty. You must do your duty, right? So Krishna is going to persuade Arjuna to do his duty. We'll see that. Text 31. Considering your specific duty as a Kshatriya, you should know that there is no better engagement for you than fighting on religious principles. So there is no need for hesitation. Krishna is saying Arjuna was hesitant, he was not ready to fight. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya. Kshatriya, what is Kshatriya? So Kshatriya comes from this root word, Trayate, Kshat. And if you break these words, Kshat means heart, Trayate means give protection. So Kshatriya is the one who gives protection to general public, right? So in that age, in the Dwapara Yuga, before Dwapara Yuga, there used to be Kshatriya people. Now in the current generation, those are like kings in the olden days. Now in the current generation, we can say Kshatriyas are like compared to police officers, simple words. The police officers are the soldier on the battlefield. Their life is dedicated to give protection to general mass people, general public. So that is the Kshatriya. So Krishna is saying, you are a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight. Okay, so there is no other engagement for you. Because this is prescribed duty for you. This is prescribed duty for you. So that is the reason you have to do your duty without any hesitation. So how it applies to us? So we also have our prescribed duties. So taking care of our family, doing our duties. So what is our ashrama? Our ashrama is grihastha ashrama. Grihastha ashrama. So in our ashrama, like householder, grihastha means householder. In the householder life, so we can earn money, we can dutifully do our job in a dharmic way and earn money in a dharmic way, right? And take care of our family in a dharmic way, right? And there is a big list in our scriptures. For a grihastha ashrama, what are the roles and responsibilities? There is a big list. Just like if you go to IT job, there is a big list, roles and responsibilities. You have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be this, you have to be this. Then you're qualified for this role, right? And also we'll get promotions based on how we behave, based on our role, right? Same thing. So Krishna is saying, you're a Kshatriya, these are your roles and responsibilities, right? The same thing in our grihastha ashrama also, we have roles and responsibilities. So, and we also are obliged to take care of other varnas like sannyasi ashrama, like saintly people, give some donations to them, and elderly people and charitable donations. So there is a big list of grihastha ashrama. So if you don't follow any of those, our scriptures say that is sin. For going against our dharma, that is sin, that will cause sin. Because of the sin, we know it will create sinful reaction, bad karma. Bad karma means suffering in this lifetime or next lifetime. So we covered that about karma in briefly in previous sessions. Okay, I'll move on to text 32. O Partha, happy are the Kshatriyas to whom such fighting opportunities come unsought, opening for them the doors of the heavenly planets. Now Krishna is going a little further. Here it is saying the Kshatriyas are always ready to fight, always ready to do their duty. Yeah, we can see police officers, right, in our neighborhood. So they're always ready. And if you take the example of a soldier on the battlefield, right? So soldier, when he gets enrolled into this military training program, this government, a military organization, they train the soldier very nicely. And soldier's life and breath, right? Every day he's thinking about, okay, what is he learning every day, right? What is he learning? What is soldier learning every day? How to hold a weapon, how to use this weapon. Is a big tank, what are the tank or guns, so they learn, they spend their whole life to learn, and they are very much enthusiastic to do their duty, to do the battle, to go in the battle, right? So it's not like they'll go by their own intention. And well, if there is no reason, like, there is no need of war, and if a soldier on the India border taking a gun and going into the Pakistani border and shooting them, that's not what it is. Right? So I mean, they're enthusiastic to do their job, but if we do so in a wrong way, when it is not coming from higher authority, that is adharma, right? So similarly, so Sri Krishna is saying, like, Kshatriyas are very much enthusiastic, and they are eagerly wait for those opportunities to do their duty, So again, when one performs a duty, in case of Kshatriya, Krishna is saying that opens the door for liberation. So, I mean, if a person, a soldier, dies on the battlefield, right, government rewards him, gives him a medal, right, and he is appreciated highly. Similarly, Krishna is saying, a Kshatriya, when he dies in the battlefield for the protection of a nation, then he will definitely go to heaven. Same thing, how it applies to us, we'll see. We are in a grihastha ashrama, so we also have obligated duties. When we do our duties, this is again given coming from the scriptures, we do our duties in the grihastha ashrama, there is a big list. So when we do our duties according to our dharma, following our dharma, right, taking care of family members or various things, right, then we'll be qualified to go to the heavenly planets. The doors, when we perfectly do our duties, then we'll get good karma, right? Good actions lead to good karma. And there's a possibility that we'll go to heavenly planets. But is that the end? Right? So there is a lot more to it. So because heaven is not the end. In case of other religions like Christianity or Islam, so they talk about hell and heaven. And heaven, if you are living a good life, if you surrender to God, living a good life, you go to heaven, you enjoy there, right? And if you're living a sinful life, you go to hell. That's it, hell and heaven, that's it, nothing else. But in our Sanatana Dharma, it is beyond hell and heaven, right? Krishna talk about it. There is a place which is beyond hell and heaven. That is the place of the Supreme Lord. When one goes there, one doesn't need to come back. So the point here is, when one perform the prescribed duty as per scriptures, one may go to heaven, but there is a high chance that after Kshine Punye Mrityu Lokam Vishanti. Krishna says this in later chapters. I'm bringing this up in this context. When the good credits are gone, and the good karma is depleted, one would be thrown back into this material world again, on this earthly planet again. It could be this body, human body, or any body, right? So we'll be thrown back into this from the heavenly planet. When our credits are depleted, when good karmas are depleted. So what to do? What to do? Good karma is good, but we don't want to accumulate good karma either. We don't want to accumulate good karma either. So that's the point. When we don't have good karma, when the balance of good karma is zero and bad karma is zero, then we are eligible to attain liberation. That is the stage of liberation, when the karma balance is zero. That is what Krishna is going to speak like throughout Bhagavad Gita, how to come to that stage. So quick insight into these verses. Duty of a Kshatriya. Krishna is talking, what is the duty of a Kshatriya? 1 second, let me turn off this. So duty of a Kshatriya. So the Kshatriya is to protect the citizens. So he can commit violence for law and order, to protect the law and order, and rule as per religious scriptures, right? And the duties are being given. So we'll look at in upcoming slide, Swadharma, Sanatana Dharma. And Krishna in these two verses, he's saying, when you do your duty perfectly, you'll be eligible to attain heavenly planets. Again, heaven is not the end. We need to go to the place beyond heaven. Right, we'll move on. Life lesson, quick life lesson here. discharging one's specific duties in any field of action in accordance with the orders of higher authorities serves to elevate one to a higher status of life. Discharging our specific duties, if you're doing a IT job, right? If we do our job correctly, as per we are fulfilling our roles and responsibilities, when we are going beyond the expectation, meeting the expectation, right? So then of course we'll attain a higher status, right? We'll be getting promotions, we'll move on, right? So similarly, when we do our prescribed duties in any ashrama, whatever ashrama we are in Grihastha ashrama, and do our prescribed duties perfectly, then there is a good chance we elevate ourselves. I'll move on. Text 33 to 36. 33. If, however, you do not perform your religious duty of fighting, then you will certainly incur sins for neglecting your duties and thus lose your reputation as a fighter. So in this way, Krishna is saying, Arjuna really concerned that he'll get sin, he'll get sin if he fights. So if he do his job is to kill. If he kills, he'll get sin. That's what is concerned. Krishna is saying, you are a Kshatriya, your duty is to fight. If you fight, there is no sin. Right? But if you neglect your duty, there is a sin. That's what Krishna is saying here in this verse. Not just that, you lose your reputation. You lose your reputation as a fighter. So Arjuna is very much trained in the archery, and he attained so many weapons for fighting. If he neglects his duty, Krishna is saying he'll incur sins. That is the first thing, and also lose the reputation. So we'll take the example of doctor. If a doctor, doctor's job is to take care of the patient, right? So if doctor is ready with all this dress, going to the operation room and looking at the patient and holding the knife, and he's ready to cut, but he thinks like, no, this is bad, this is wrong. I'm not supposed to hurt anyone. I'm not supposed to harm anyone. If a doctor thinks so, then what happens? That's a sin, right? So our patient will run behind the doctor. Doctor, cut me, I'm ready. Don't worry, right? So moreover, if doctor neglects his duty, and patient could sue the doctor. This happens in this country very well, we all know. Now patient could sue their doctor. So that's what Krishna is trying to say here. If you neglect your duty, you'll incur sin, and also you lose your reputation. So personal application, how it applies to us, same thing. So when we neglect our duty, and when we neglect our duties, what are the duties, what are the roles and responsibilities we are in, right? In our Grihastha ashrama, right? So then we'll incur sin, and we lose our reputation. So we'll move on. 34. People will always speak of your infamy. People will always speak of your infamy. And for a respectable person, dishonor is worth than death. So Krishna is further going. Not just that, Arjuna, if you neglect your duties, you'll incur sin, and also you lose a reputation. Not just that, people will speak infamy about you, like criticize you. People will criticize you, and you are a respectable person. Right? You're a respectable person. Like, Arjuna is a mighty warrior. Is very well known for his great archery, right? So if Arjuna neglects his duty, people don't think Arjuna is compassionate, is going away from the battle because he's compassionate. People criticize Arjuna, criticize Arjuna. So, for a person, when he is at the reputed stage, when everyone is honoring him, right? So such a person, when everyone criticizes, that kind of dishonor is worse than death. So what is, I mean, we all know like there are 4 stages of, right? Birth, disease, old age, death, right? Everyone has to go through. That is more problematic, right? Krishna, and we also covered that in one of the sessions. And Krishna in this in this verse is saying, even worse than death is this dishonor for a person who is like a karma yogi neglecting his duties. So we can take the example of a celebrity, celebrities who lives a rich, opulent life, and everyone glorifies him. Okay, this person is a great person, and after attaining certain stage, when he's neglecting his duties, and when his fame is gone, right, he's doing all illegal activities, then people will criticize him, and at that time he regret his mistake. I'm talking about celebrity. He regret his mistake, and they commit suicide. They'll go to the extremity that they'll commit suicide, and they can't even live their life correctly, right? So that is dishonor is worse. That's why Krishna is saying such a dishonor is worse. So it is very important how it applies to us in our personal life. So it is very important when you are taking any role, any jobs and responsibilities, one has to do not neglect their duties, and dutifully perform their duties, and then it will be successful in any walk of life. Text 35. The great generals who have highly esteemed your fame, your name and fame, will think that you left the battle out of fear only, and thus they will consider you insignificant. So here the Krishna is giving more reasons, like, what happens if Arjuna doesn't fight, right? So the great generals, all these people don't think Arjuna is, again, same thing. People don't think Arjuna is running away from the battle because of his compassionate nature, or he doesn't want to kill. People will criticize. They say like Arjuna is coward person. He ran away from the battle, right? They'll consider Arjuna as insignificant. So Krishna is trying to persuade Arjuna to fight, like, just like we tell our children, you study well, right? If you don't study well, this is what happened, right? So same thing, Krishna is trying to persuade Arjuna to do his duty. And 36, this is the last, and this is the last. You'll not do the Krishna is trying to persuade Arjuna. This is one of the last words. Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability. What could be more painful for you? In case of Arjuna, he's so much worried about their opponent's welfare, even though they created so much harm to Arjuna, right? So Arjuna is not considering the other party as their enemies, but they are considering Arjuna as their enemies, right? And they're going to scorn the ability. They're going to criticize Arjuna for his ability. That is so painful. That's what's so painful. Okay, so we'll move on. So quick insight into this set of verses, what is happening. So if we fail to do our duty, we'll incur sin, and there's a dishonor. People criticize us. There's a dishonor. People ridicule us, right? So for a respectful, quick life lesson here, for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. And we become truly respectable when we live a life of high values based on Vedic wisdom. So when we become truly respectable, when do we become truly respectable? Right? So when we follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, when our desires, when we're acting in a way without the ego or any negative qualities, lust, greed, anger are subdued, and following the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, then we'll truly become respectable when we live a life accordingly. So what to say of next life lesson here? What to say of spiritual achievements? Even the material enjoyment comes only when one performs the prescribed duty. Yes. Not even spiritual achievements, even the material enjoyments, comes only when we do our duty. I mean, if you simple example, salary. If I don't do my job, right, I don't get salary, right? So same thing. If we do our prescribed duties, and what to speak about spiritual achievements, in the material achievements, not possible. So one has the point here is one has to do his duties. Okay, so we'll quickly move on. We'll go into the important verses. Text 37. हतो वा प्राप्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वा भोग्यसे महिं तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः. Translation: O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight. So Krishna is saying two things here. If Arjuna dies on the battlefield, he will go to heavenly planets. If Arjuna wins the battlefield, Arjuna wins the battle, then he can enjoy the kingdom. So there is no loss. Either way, it's benefit. So Krishna is trying to address the other concern of Arjuna. Arjuna was concerned that there is no enjoyment. Krishna is saying, don't worry, there is an enjoyment for you. There is enjoyment for you. When we win the battle, this is a verse he's saying, when you win the battle, then you can enjoy the kingdom. You are the person. You are a Kshatriya, you are the person, you are responsible to re-establish the dharma, right? You have to do that. And you can certainly enjoy the kingdom, right? If you die, you'll go to heavenly planets. There is enjoyment anyway. Don't worry about that. And how about the people on the other side? They're all Kshatriyas on the battlefield. If they die, so no problem. They all go to the heaven. So get up and fight. That's what Krishna is saying. Get up and fight. So there is a win-win situation for Arjuna here. Krishna is trying to persuade Arjuna to do his duty, and there is a win-win situation. No matter what, you're going to win, Arjuna. That's what Krishna is saying. And here we can say Krishna is slowly taking Arjuna, right? So there is a vikarma going to take. Krishna is talking about karma kanda philosophy. Karma kanda philosophy is like we are doing our duty with an expectation of a result, like an outcome, right? With a purpose. I'm doing the duty with a purpose, with an expectation of result. I'll be happy. That's it. That's karma kanda philosophy, right? So in the Vedas, there are karma kanda, jnana kanda, upasana kanda. So karma kanda section of the Vedas primarily deal with certain rituals one has to perform. Via certain rituals like sacrifices to demigods. We don't see that now, but there are certain karma kandic rituals. When you perform that, we'll attain certain result, right? So that is karma kanda, and that's what Krishna is trying to say here. When you do this duty, you'll get a result, heaven, or you enjoy the kingdom, no matter what, right? So what is ugra karma? There is something like ugra karma, vikarma. Vikarma means sinful actions. So sinful actions is one doesn't do the duty. So from here on, Krishna is going to let Arjuna climb this ladder one by one. Okay. So just as if you're climbing a ladder, it has different rungs. So different rung 1, rung 2, rung 3. So you can go up. You'll go up, right? So that's what Krishna is saying. If you don't do your duty, you'll get sin. That is level 0, right? So level 1 is do your duty for the enjoyment of heaven. For enjoyment here or heaven, whatever, you do your duty, you'll get a result. There is sakama karma. There is sakama karma, right? There is karma kanda or sakama karma. And then next verse, Krishna is going to flip the coin. Krishna is going to flip the coin. Text 38. Sukha dukke same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva nevam papam avapyasi. Translation: do thou fight for the sake of fighting, without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat. And by doing so, you shall never incur sin. So in the previous verses, Krishna was persuading Arjuna to do his duty. So such duty will give the result of enjoying the kingdom or heaven, whatever. He's trying to persuade Arjuna to do the duty. And here Krishna is saying, don't worry about, without considering happiness, distress, loss or gain, you do your duty. When you do your duty in such a way, you will never incur sin. So in the previous verse, Krishna was saying, Sakama karma, do your duty, you'll get a result, right? And he is flipping the coin here, right? So same thing. Why? Because he's taking Arjuna to the next level, level 3. Level 3 is Nishkama Karma Yoga. From here, Krishna is going to speak about Karma Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga. So this is like Arjuna's concern. This is the third concern of Arjuna, right? The second concern was no enjoyment in the attaining the battle, winning the battle. So I spoke about in the 37th verse, there is an enjoyment certainly, no matter what. In the 38th verse, he is addressing the other concern of Arjuna. Arjuna's concern was, if he fight the battle, he will incur sin, and also there is a sinful reaction. So we know in the karma, there is a karma. If you do our karma, we do good karma, good result, bad karma, bad result, right? So simple. Arjuna is saying, when he does this action, there's a reaction to it. And Krishna is trying to tell the way that when you work like a karma yogi, there is no reaction to your action. Your karma becomes a karma. Your karma becomes a karma, means no karma, like neutral action. That action which does not produce any new reaction. So that is a karma yoga basically. That action which does not produce any new reaction. So Krishna is saying, do that. Do that action which does not produce any new reaction, and there is no sin to that. So is Krishna contradicting himself, right? So I spoke about that. So just like our Google Maps, if we put our Google Maps, if I want to go from here to downtown, right? So I'm going to here to downtown, I put the address, and example, it has 20 miles, right? And after 1 mile, it says like, no, there is a fastest route available. I know we all have experienced that. It says there is a fastest route available. You want to go this way. Right? We look at it. Yeah, I mean, if it is 5 minutes or 10 minutes faster, we'll pick the route and we'll go there, right? So because that route is the fastest route, right? So our Google Maps is saying, you pick this route, this is the fastest route, right? Similarly, Krishna is saying, you pick this route. In the 37, he spoke about Sakama Karma, and Krishna is speaking in 38, Nishkama Karma. When you pick this route, this is the fastest route. This route leads you to liberation. This route leads you to liberation. In the verse 37, the other route, both routes are good. It's not like, if you put the Google Maps, both routes are good, but this route is the fastest route. Hope you are understanding. So this route is the fastest route, right? So the Karma Yoga is the fastest route. The path of devotional service, the path of Karma Yoga, the path of Bhakti Yoga is the fastest route. So why that is a slow route? One may think like, why that is a slow route, right? The Karma Kanda, it's little philosophical. I try to quickly cover in the path of Karma Kanda. So I'm doing a duty, I'm getting a money, right? With that money, I enjoy, I fulfill my desire and accumulate karma. Right? As part of this is what the life is, we go office, enjoy, take care of family, simple living, no spiritual life. That's the thing, and there's nothing wrong in that. That's all right, but it doesn't liberate. If I'm doing perfectly my prescribed duties as per scriptures, I'll get good karma, I'll go to heaven, but again I'll be thrown back, again I have to start over. Right? So Krishna is saying that is the longest route, because that is a reason. That route will not lead you to liberation, but this route this route, follow this route of Buddhi Yoga, Nishkama Karma Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga. This route is the fastest route. This will lead you to liberation, Arjuna. No, you go this route. So another concern, other question, like, is Krishna urging us to suppress our emotions? In the previous verse also he said, happiness or distress, be neutral. Victory or loss or gain, be neutral. Victory or defeat, be neutral. Is Krishna is asking us to suppress our emotions? Of course we'll be happy. When am I doing something, when I do a work, when I achieve the result, because of my effort, when I achieve the result, I'll be certainly happy. Right? So why Krishna is asking me to suppress my emotions? Is being happy wrong? So Krishna is saying, don't think you are the cause of your happiness. If you think you are the cause of your happiness, you will be ego will become egoistic. You'll become egoistic, and you'll become proud of your achievements, and you'll not dutifully perform your duties again, and you're going to create problems to everybody. So be neutral. When your happiness is there, don't get too much elated. When there is a distress is there, same thing. When there is a distress or loss or a defeat, don't think it's because of you. And Krishna is going to speak in different chapters as well. What are other factors of for any success in anything? But in short, so here I'm trying to put those in. So in short, Krishna is trying to say that be neutral to these things. Then happiness, even in distress condition, also don't think you are the cause of your suffering. There are various factors. Be neutral. No, don't be despondent. Don't feel dejected. Focus on your work. That's what Krishna is trying to say. Be neutral, right? And how to come to that stage, Krishna is going to speak in all further verses. We'll see. So Krishna, again, yoga ladder. When you look at the yoga ladder, Krishna is slowly letting Arjuna to climb, and along with Arjuna, we're also climbing this ladder. The vikarma is a path of adharmic life. Sakama karma is a path of dharmic life, which leads to heavenly planets. But that is not the end. We need to go to level 3. Level 3 is karma yoga. So that is the one which leads to liberation. And again, level 4, level 5, we'll see in upcoming chapters. We'll move on. So quick insight into this verse. In 37, Krishna said, there is a win-win situation, Arjuna. No matter what, you're not going to lose anything. So if you lose, you enjoy heaven. If you win, you enjoy the earthly kingdom. Work for the sake of working. Work with detachment as a karma yogi. Then that is sin-free. No problem. So this is another thing. So since Krishna is talking about the duties, so we'll quickly look at the duties of our body and soul. What are the duties of our body and soul? So we are a soul in a body, right? In a human body, it's an exterior covering only, like a dress, right? So there are certain duties on the body level. There are certain duties on the soul level. So one has to have a perfect balance, right? So let's look at duties towards the body. So we all do this, right? So professional, the workplace or wherever, one has to be honest and do his duties responsibly. That will not incur any sin. It's sin-free, right? And we also need to take care of family responsibilities and take care of children and everything, our family responsibilities. And we also need to, on the bodily level, we also have one more responsibility, that personal life. We also take care of our health, personal health too, physical fitness. We say physical fitness, right? One has to be physically fit, and not just that, one has to be mentally fit too, work towards mental fitness as well. That is our duties towards the body. So these are the various things from scriptures we are pulling and presenting here. Duties towards the soul. So what are the duties towards the soul? Right? So soul gets satisfaction in certain things, right? So studying the scriptures, so learning from Bhagavad Gita that we are not this body, we are souls, and many things, learning the instructions of Krishna, how we are a created being, like what Krishna, how Krishna wants us to live our life. How Krishna wants us to live our life also, right? Following the instructions of Krishna, studying Bhagavad Gita and scriptures, right? And not just that, learning and practicing. Studying is also not sufficient, one has to learn and also put them in the practice in spirituality, right? The path of karma yoga, the path of bhakti yoga. So these are the practices. So like in the path of Ashtanga yoga, there are different practices are mentioned, like breathing exercises, and in devotional services in the path of bhakti yoga, like chanting the holy names of the Lord, doing puja and various things, meditating upon the Lord, these kind of duties on the soul level. When you work on the soul level, not just on the bodily level, when you work on the soul level, or negativity will be reduced, depleted, or negative emotions will be depleted. Chitta Shuddhi happens. Krishna says Chitta Shuddhi happens, or consciousness getting purified every day when you are working towards the soul. Following the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, we live a life, peaceful life, happy life. Right? So, so one has to have a clear balance between the body and the soul level. So we'll look at it in upcoming verses. Text 39 is Eshate abhijhata sankhe buddhir yoge tvimam shunu buddhaya yukto yaya pardha karma bandham prahasyase. Translation: Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Partha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of works. Karma bandham prahasyasi. Krishna is saying, so far I have explained you this Atma Jnana, knowledge about the soul. Now I'm going to explain you about this Karma Yoga. Working without fruitive result, without expecting any result, right? So that knowledge, Krishna is saying, that knowledge will free you from all kinds of bondage. Karma bandham prahasyasi. So in further verses from here on, before speaking the Karma Yoga, Krishna is going to glorify that, right? So he's going to increase the enthusiasm in us, right? So we'll be ready to learn. So this is very important verse, text 40. Neha vikramanasayosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapi asya dharmasya dhrayate mahato bayat. Translation: In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous types of fear. So Krishna is glorifying the path of Karma Yoga, the path of Bhakti Yoga. So our acharyas have written, like, if you study the entire Bhagavad Gita, so we can put different paths also here, like any path you take, any instructions of Krishna, right? There is no loss. There is no loss. Krishna is saying there is no loss. Not just that, there is no diminution, and it won't decrease. It won't decrease. Simple example. So if I'm doing a IT project, right? If I'm doing an IT project, so for me to attain profit, I need to build the product first. I need to build the product and put in the market. Only when the product is complete, I'll get the profit. Only when the product is complete, I'll get the profit. If the product is incomplete, I'll not get a result. If I stop in the between, if I complete only 10%, this happens in all IT world. Any project we take, we stop in the middle, and with different requirements will come, we throw it away, and we'll move on, right? So, pivoting to something else, right? Yeah, that happens very often. So the Krishna is saying, like, sorry, the example here is, when you start something, if we incomplete, we don't come, if you don't complete it, if you complete only 10%, it's a waste of time, waste of energy. And if you stop in between, come back to it 2 years later, the situation may change, right? So it's a total loss. So Krishna is saying, so those kind of material things, you can compare here. I'm trying to give the example that in this path, the path of material activities or certain things, right? So with IT project, I said, so these things we have one has, if it is completed 100%, only then the result will be obtained. But the path of karma yoga, the path of devotional service, one doesn't need to complete 100%. We had this discussion last session with Lataji and Bindu. So in this path of karma yoga, devotional service, or bhakti yoga, any path we take, even if you don't complete 100%, even if you complete 10%, those will be carry forwarded. The spiritual credits will be carry forwarded. Right? So it's like in IT world also we have this PTOs. Certain PTOs are carry forwarded, certain PTOs one has to complete. Right? So one must burn their PTOs. If not, they'll be wasted. Right? So, but that's the case with the material things. But the spiritual things, any spiritual activity, right? The path of karma yoga, the path of bhakti yoga, any progress made in this path, Krishna is saying there is no loss. You don't lose anything. So in our life also, we accumulate credits, right? Credits are material accumulation of wealth, accumulation of properties, accumulation of name, fame, popularity, anything, everything, nothing will be forwarded. When we die, everything will go away. We have to throw that away. There is no option. We'll be pulled back, and we have to give it to our next generation. Whatever we work so hard and accumulate many things, we can't even carry forward. But Krishna is saying there's the material things you can't carry forward, but the spiritual things you can carry forward. Little bit of progress. Swalpam api asya dharmasya. Little bit of progress in this path. Swalpam api, little bit. Swalpam api, little bit. Any little bit of progress in this path of spiritual progress, right? Taking up spirituality, learning Bhagavad Gita, these things will be with us. Even if you go to the next life also, we'll start. If we start today, and even if you don't complete, even if you practice 10%, there is no loss. Krishna is saying those will be with you. Even if you go next lifetime also, those will be with you. You don't lose anything. So, if we read the entire Bhagavad Gita, so the Krishna also says, and the easy path, the path of liberation, right? So Krishna speaks about that, where one can burn out all their karmas and go to the spiritual world in this very lifetime. Okay, that we'll see later. Okay, so we'll move on. Quick insight into this verse, endeavor, karma yoga or bhakti yoga. So no loss or diminution. You don't lose anything. There is a permanent effect, the permanent bank balance, which will retain, right? And it will protect you from greatest fear. Greatest fear. The greatest fear is a fear of punarapi janmam, punarapi maranam, repeated cycle of birth and death. Right? Okay. So quick life lesson into this: spiritual credits are permanent, no loss in the practice of spirituality or devotional services. Okay, so this is the last verse for the day. I'll try to quickly complete. So this is very, very important verse in the path of Nishkama Karma Yoga. So Krishna is going to glorify the path of this Karma Yoga. So we'll see. Text 41. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahushaka hi anantascha buddhayo avyavasayinam. Translation: those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. So Krishna is saying, if you are resolute in purpose, right? If you're resolute in purpose. So this is a famous verse. This verse can be spoken to anyone, any field. Like kindergarten kid to youth kid or elderly person also. This is about one pointed attention, focus, one pointed attention or concentration, right? So if one is resolute in the purpose, their focus is one. If they're not resolute in purpose, their focus is multidirectional. They'll do many things, but will not attain success. That's what Krishna is saying here. So we'll quickly look into it. There is a small story in the Mahabharata. So here, there is a, all these students, Kauravas and Pandavas, they went to this Dronacharya Institute of Technology. So at the ashram of Dronacharya to learn the military science, right? So all these children were trained, and they took to this practice. There was a test conducted. So the test was to shoot the eye of a bird, So that was the test. So then this Dronacharya called the first person came out was Yudhishthira. He came and he asked Dronacharya, Yudhishthira, are you ready? Aim it. So Yudhishthira was looking at the bird, and at that time Dronacharya asked, do you see the eye? Yes. What else you see, Yudhishthira? Then Yudhishthira said, I'm seeing the eye of a bird, I'm seeing the bird, and also I'm seeing the tree. Okay. Then Dronacharya said, okay, come back. Let's have other person to do this. You can't do this. Then he asked Bhima. Bhima came. Bhima, in the eye of a bird. What do you see? Eye of a bird. What else you see? What else you see? Bhima said, I'm seeing the tree. What else you see? I'm seeing the fruits on the tree. The fruits are so delicious. I want to eat it. And Dronacharya said, yeah, okay, come back. You can eat it later. Sit down and eat it later. Come back. Then Dronacharya asked the third person. The other person was, like everybody says different things. And last person came as Arjuna. Then Dronacharya asked the same question. Arjuna, what do you see? Eye of a bird. What else you see? Nothing. Just the eye of a bird. You should see the color of a bird, which is red. Then Arjuna said, no, I'm not seeing anything. I'm only seeing eye of a bird at this time. And Dronacharya said, shoot it. Go for it. You're 100% qualified to do this. Right? So in case of Arjuna, he was very much resolute in purpose. Right? His goal, he has a goal. He wants to be a great archer. Because he was resolute in purpose to become a great archer, his focus was one. He was very much focused on his path. So I'll try to quickly complete. So another example. So if an athlete, if the athlete goal is to attain a gold medal, right? So he has to work hard. It's not like having a desire to attain gold medal, he will attain gold medal. It's not possible. Practical, it's not possible, right? So what he has to do, he has to have a strong determination. I want to attain the gold medal, right? This medal. He has to be determined, he has to be focused, right? He has to try endeavors one pointed. He can't like, today I want to be a runner, I want to attain this gold medal, I want to be this athlete running race. And if he's not resolute in his aim, if he's not looking at the goal, he'll start one day, second day he'll start, third day he'll become complacent, and fourth day he'll not even do anything. Or fourth day he'll take up other thing. Oh, maybe it's not possible. Maybe I'll not put 100% effort. Maybe I'm happy with the bronze medal. I don't want gold medal, right? But if a person who is aim is one, if his goal is one, he wants to attain gold medal, is resolute in purpose, then he'll work hard towards it to attain the goal, right? So what needed? Determination, strong determination, and he has to have a mentor who can help him, guide him, right? And also he has to practice, not just that knowledge, theoretical knowledge. He has to practice every day. He has to run on the field, and he has to have strong perseverance, right? Despite failures, he has to get up and fight. Get up and run. Struggle hard. And he has to have a good diet too. Not just in any sports field, we all know, right? Any sports field, anything, one has to have a good diet, so that that diet will help him. The diet is conducive, for his work. Now we'll take this and looking at these various analogies, what Krishna is trying to say here. Krishna is trying to say here, focus on the path of devotional service, or bhakti yoga, or karma yoga, bhakti yoga, or devotional service, anything. Aim for liberation. Aim for liberation. If you aim for liberation, if you are determined for liberation, your path is one, your goal is one. You'll work towards it and you'll attain it. So what is needed? Determination. One has to have a guide, like we have acharyas who are given the scriptures for us to learn, and one has to practice, take it into practice, and there'll be difficulties. Yes, it is obvious there will be difficulties one has to go through, but still with strong perseverance, one can come back and practice. The goal, what is the goal here? Liberation, right? So Krishna is saying, look at the goal. Look at your target. Your goal is liberation, not any material things. And one has to have a good diet too. Diet is very much conducive in our spiritual life also. If I want to take up spirituality and practice spirituality, any path, karma yoga, gnana yoga, bhakti yoga, any yogas, any path, it's very much needed that one has to have a good diet. Right? So the sattvic diet leads to sattvic consciousness. So sattvic diet leads to sattvic consciousness. Krishna speaks about in later chapters of Bhagavad Gita. We'll look at it later. Okay, so just a concluding statement here. Krishna is saying in these following verses, Krishna is persuading Arjuna to do his duty, and he's also driving Arjuna step by step, doing sakama karma, and step 2, nishkama karma, work like a karma yogi with a proper goal. Your goal is liberation. Focus on that goal. This path will help you. Okay, so with that said, I'll stop here, and if you have any thoughts and sharings or realizations, feel free to share. Sorry, my room was dark here.